the same Shadow Isles champions that were in the last game. Mordekaiser taken out, the Senna taken out, as well as the Thresh taken out.
Yeah, and I mean all those pretty good bans. You know, Senna is a very strong champion. You know, the tons of extra range is always fun to deal with. And you know, Thresh, like I said, jack of all trades. Mordekaiser, very strong. You know, Kitsune was looking pretty good on it last game. Lucian banned away, so they do not want Chancellor Lemon on that. He looks so dominant on it in lane, even though Lucian is very good in lane. He was still looking. He was still playing pretty well, even though Lucian is such a strong lane champion. He was definitely not just being carried by the champion, and that was definitely a display of skill on his part.
And with 380 carries gone, Graves is free to be picked up on the side of Iceborn. But it is worth noting that Iceborn is respecting Shadow Jumper there by banning away the Vel'Koz.
Most definitely, you know, Vel'Koz is very well. We don't see him very often. He can be very strong if he is played well. You know, the Life Form Disintegration race is quite the powerful ultimate. So we'll unfortunately not be seeing it today, but perhaps in the future.
Yeah, AoE true damage kind of strong if you ask me.
Yeah, just get the passive proc and bam, gone. Anyway, Jhin is picked up, another one of the strongest, one of the strong AD carries here, and
Jhin for Genius, as we say.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see that.
Lee Sin picked up by Savage here, so it seems a little bit of a AD being picked up here.
Lee Sin is always a treat.
Able to be done.
Ooh, okay, I like. You know what? We're seeing the Shaco hover. This one's interesting. Oh, Caitlyn.
Which is odd because generally speaking, like obviously the AD carry matchups aren't as important, but it's like when looking at it from just the AD carry's perspective, Jhin does relatively well into Caitlyn. Is actually one of the few champions that does well into Caitlyn.
Definitely. I mean, you can match a lot of the trades. You know, Caitlyn does like to go in for those fights when she does have the headshot available, and you can match that with your 4-shot, which will do even more damage usually. And Caitlyn Morgana picked up, so already we're seeing a very dominant lane for Red Saturn and Beyond Godly. You know, if they just land a binding, you're going to take quite a bit of damage, so we're going to need to see Ingenious and Troll New play this lane very safely.
Yeah, because Kate Morgana has been a classic staple lane for as long as League of Legends has been League of Legends. And it's just like, if you land on a trap, you land on a bind, it's just chain CC, and you just don't get out of that. And it's a lot of damage.
And as the Janna is locked in here for Troll New, we do. That's something that I do like coming out. You know, Janna, we don't see her very often, but she's a pretty strong champion. The Monsoon is always very valuable. The CC that she can provide with that ultimate can really turn a team fight. So I think it's, as both teams have yet to lock in their solo laners, this is going to be very important. We'll see what Mortal Will can do with this R5 counterpick.
And they finished off their ban list with Set, as well as the response with Galio.
I mean, yeah, we see basically exclusively bans to. We're seeing a lot of mid lane bans. You know, Set can be flexed to mid lane. Akali can be flexed to top lane, but we don't often see that. And so it'll be, the Victor Aubrey. That would be a very interesting thing to see. And the Victor is going to be locked in. So, you know, I don't get to see him very often, but Victor is always a treat. You know, those lasers. From how strong.
Fun. Yeah, and judging from how strong Victor was, specifically Shadow Jumper's Victor was last season, I'm curious to see how much better it's gotten, because generally speaking, like, people get better with time, right? So I want to see like what that improvement looks like.
Most definitely. It'll be interesting to see how he's using those Death Rays, how he's using those Chaos Storms, and okay, alright, we're seeing the Fiora locked in for Neon Fire. I like this. Fiora.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Malphite or something here.
Yeah, maybe. But true damage does do pretty good into armor, and we'll have to see. I assumed that was the top lane pick, so now this will be Chancellor Lemon's Sindra locked in. So, we're seeing, as this draft will be rounded out, I like both of these drafts here. I'll have to see.
Yep,
the Malphite comes through. Yeah.
Because Malphite's like the only champion that can actually stand up to Fiora and not like explode instantly.
Exactly, yeah. Fiora, a very strong champion, and Malphite does have some pretty good matches for Fiora. As now, we won't see any odd flexes here, so very normal draft. And as I'm looking into this, I'm I kind of do. These drafts are all like relatively. I don't really can't really give anybody an edge, particularly in the draft. However, what I can say is that it's going to be very important to see for Ingenious and Trolldanube to play this lane out as safely as they can, right? Because all it takes is a bind, and like Janna, very squishy. Jhin, very squishy. So all it takes is the binding, the trap, a couple headshot autos, and you're gone. So it's going to be. Continue.
Oh no, and the thing is, Lee Sin is also a squishy champion. So like even heading down there is not safe for him to do. And especially with the change that they made to Caitlyn's traps, like they ground now. So like if you hit like the Lee Sin Q, for example, and you take the second part of it to kick him in the face, and you land over a trap on the way there, you get stopped at the trap.
Exactly, and you lose a lot. You lose a lot of your damage if you're just unable to. If that ground does manage to happen. So, what I am seeing here is that we're going to be seeing probably some very early fighting in these lanes. Lee Sin and Graves, both very strong early game champions. Graves does scale, I feel, a bit better, but we'll likely be seeing some fights over these early objectives, these early dragons, these early Rift Heralds, and I'm looking forward to seeing some fun fights here.
Yeah, and I don't think that there are going to be like any major fights, because like when you're playing Caitlyn and Kate Morgana, obviously you want to play super aggressive, but Jhin and Janna have plenty of tools to make it so that it's not.
Definitely, yeah.
And then when you're looking at just matchup for matchup, like Syndra Victor, both of those champions want to scale the mid game, want to hit level 6 and hit like their first tier of their item, which would be usually is like Lost Chapter or something like that. Because they didn't make that change to Victor yet, where they took out his upgrade completely, right? Yeah, they didn't make that change.
That's season 11. They'll make the kill gives you an upgrade in the future. But anyway, what I think is going to be very important is in these objective fights, it's going to be important to see who is able to set up around these objectives first, right? Because Caitlyn always wants to get to these objectives first, lay down that trap line right, make sure that you can't contest, or else you're going to be taking some crazy damage from those headshot autos. And while we don't see Mortal will have a super, there isn't like something to motivate them to take a position. I think they are going to want to try to set up for these objectives early to make sure that Caitlyn isn't able to just freely set up her trap line, set up her defenses, and just stop you from being able to contest in the slightest.
I'm interested to see how the junglers influence this top lane, because obviously, like if left unchecked, Malphite can very easily run away. Like either side can really run away with it, depending on how the early game goes.
Oh, most definitely. I think this top lane is going to be a very important thing to watch. We'll have to see how the 1v1 goes. If Kitsune is able to sort of keep it even, or if Neon Fire starts to pull away. Because even though this matchup, it's probably a lot better than a lot of other Fiora. Fiora is still capable of just snowballing so insanely hard. if she does manage to if she does manage to hit those vitals, she can do so much damage.
And not only that, it's like Fiora turns into a massive split pushing threat, which also needs to be remembered.
Most definitely, like, who are you gonna send to match this Fiora, right? Like, Malphite, yeah, he can probably clear those waves decently, but you're basically just gonna be shoved under tower. If Malphite does have to match her, he'll be shoved under tower for all of this, basically so long. So I think it's important. I think it's going to be important to see who can match this Fiora, and if she's just going to be run away with split pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the sums on Tal'Dog. Smite Ignite Graves. I like this.
He wants to get in there.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing some fighting, and on the subject of fighting, everybody's going top lane. So
everyone's headed there.
Like we said, we wanted to pay attention to top lane, but maybe I think these teams just want to make sure that to put the focus on top lane as soon as possible. And Kitsune will get caught out. Quick first blood. Yeah, a very quick first blood for for our team. For Iceborn, they're just gonna quickly pick it up. Kitsune just doesn't expect that, I guess. Thankfully, he isn't gonna need to burn the teleport, which would have just completely destroyed his lane. Since the kill was so soon, he is able to just walk back to lane and not have to burn that cooldown. But yeah, that's gonna be, even though Fiora doesn't pick up the kill, that's the extra gold from the assist. That'll make that lane just that bit harder.
Mm-hmm. And with no ignite for the next 2.5 minutes now, that might also come into play if something happens early.
Definitely, I mean, we do see there's a summoner advantage in bot lane, but I feel like it's gonna be very hard for Ingenious and Troll the Noob to take advantage of this in this matchup where things can just swing so wrong for them so quickly if they do end up... If Red Saturn and Beyond Godly can do this well. And we're seeing some trading in the top line.
Yep, first buff is being done. No jungler, no assistance needed on the top side of the map for the Graves, but Savage is getting a leash, so the lane prio will be going really early over to Iceborn and bot lane.
Yeah, as we see, good use of level 2 power spike. You know, they don't manage to actually get any kill or any damage there, any damage on anybody there. But what they do manage to do is just force Ingenious and Troll the Noob back. We're seeing Ibe Ungodly here using these brushes very well, making sure to just play around this vision, make sure to put as much pressure onto Troll the Noob and Ingenious as he can.
Real quick, thank you Nilix for the Twitch Prime sub. We always appreciate it here.
Yeah, thank you very much for your support.
3 months, that is.
So otherwise, relatively even game here. We're seeing the junglers both going very even. Both have cleared 4 camps. Both are setting up to pick up these Skull Crabs and Graves. And we see Tal'Dog does end up bot side. So he may look for a gank, maybe a dive perhaps, while we see Savage is topside, so perhaps we'll be seeing some ganks soon.
Yep, and it's like we said, like bot lane is getting shoved underneath their tower currently. Nothing new there, and even Kitsune is able to push Neon Fire down underneath the tower.
Definitely, he does, and he forces out the TP as well. I mean, Neon Fire doesn't get a great back. He is starting to build towards that T-Mat. Has picked up the longsword and the rejuvenation bead. However, that's not really the ideal back that you want to pick up on someone like Fiora. You usually want to back on like the full Tiamat if you can, or any of that. So yeah, that's Kitsune playing the lane very well and forcing out that summoner. It will be matched by him, however. He does pick up that cloth armor and a control ward, so both teleports are used quickly, but otherwise, no shenanigans.
Nope, everything seems to be going around about natural. Seems like some action might happen with Towel Dog heading into Savage's jungle looking for these raptors.
Yeah, we do see some fighting. Towel Dog will, I believe, steal away some of those. I don't think actually it cleared them, so yeah.
Decent damage, or very good damage traded in the side of Mortal Will down in the bot lane. Got him down to about half. Mana reserves quite low.
Yeah, and he just that's the power of smiting Ignite Graves, right? He has so much gank threat. If he is able to just land his damage onto you, use that end of the line, use those autos, and just deal so much damage to you. So already we're seeing Mortal Will playing pretty well here. They're doing, sorry, no, not Mortal Will. Sorry, we're seeing Iceborn playing very well here. They are picking up those early kills. One of them was kind of cheesy, but the other one, but the kill on Shadow Jumper was a pretty hard-earned kill from the gank.
And another gank was happening in the top lane, where both top laners blew their flashes, but nothing came out of it otherwise.
Yeah, so we don't... Yeah, the trade of summoners, otherwise, nothing. Otherwise, we don't see any huge damages. As Kasumi does have that does have the ultimate available if he does want to use that. But the repeat gank comes through and does pick up the kill. And Savage just barely can't pick up the kill. Let's see if Choldanu does get it. The flash from the Janna gets the kill. So yeah, that's nice. At least you do that. They do pick up that shutdown. It's unfortunate that you get it on the Janna, right? You know, not the greatest person to get that gold onto, but at least you do get that assist onto Savage and Shadow Jumper.
Yeah, it's not something you see often, where even like something like Janna just flashes a for it. But even then, like a lot of people like downplay when the support gets shut down like that. But I mean, I'm one of those people as a support main who doesn't, because it's just like you can just do your job better.
That's true. That's true. You know, she will be able to pick up her items. This Janna is going to be able to pick up her items sooner. You know, we do see the Fiendish Codex picked up, likely building into some supportive items for Ingenious. So yeah, Choldanu does get aggressive, does get the kill, and luckily for them, it isn't soon enough to prevent Shadow Jumper and Savage from getting the shutdown.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's going into a Crucible. Because Crucible is what? It's cute Codex plus Chalice?
I think so. Let me check.
Something like that.
It would definitely be a very good pickup here into this lane, because even though it's like, yes, your item, that'll be itemization for lane, that won't be super helpful. Like, there is still quite a bit of CC that you do need to like get rid of. Like, even though it's gonna help in lane. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Like, top lane is shoved in yet again, and in a good spot. Bot lane, Towel Dog calls off another gank and is able to actually pick up Trolldanuve there.
Yeah, the collateral damage comes out, even though Ingenious does tank the ace in the hole. The collateral damage, however, is a bit harder to block, and the kill onto Trolldanuve is picked up.
At least Savage here in the mid lane, a lot of both ultimates going down, and that's going to spell the end of Chancellor Lemon.
Yeah, the Chaos Storm used there, very, very well played. That's so much damage, and yeah, the Resonating Strike comes in as well, and it's a quick kill picked up.
Fine landing on a Savage will spell his death. Nothing from Trolldanuve is enough to keep him alive there. Oh, Flash Bind from Beyond God, landing it, chaining it into a trap.
Huh? Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, right? You know, we didn't see him land.
Although we didn't quite see it in lane, that's where it is. And top lane almost getting the solo kill on Neon Fire, having to blow both ultimates, but Kitsune looking still pretty healthy despite that.
Kitsune showing us why this matchup isn't as terrible as Fiora matchups usually are. And we see the very early Bramble Best picked up, which is very valuable here, you know. Healing reduction is always very nice into Fiora. Even though she doesn't have the Ravenous Hydra and that crazy lifesteal already, she does still have some built in, so it's nice to have that to be able to at least reduce some of her power to stay in lane.
And here comes Towel Dog yet again up here in this top lane. Neon Fire is there, but I don't think it'll be enough for him to get away. Kitsune's flash is blown. The red buff maybe? I mean the red smite maybe?
Just barely.
Flash lunge. Able to pick up the kill.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of Kitsune holding on to that flash for a bit longer than he needs, right? Like, you still end up losing the summoner, right? And even so, but you still end up dying, so, I mean, you do get the flash out from Neon Fire, right? Which will help if you do end up calling for a gank from Savage, but some trading going down the mid lane, but otherwise,
jeez, a lot of damage coming in from Chancellor Lemon, but it seems as though the Tempest, or the Monsoon, sorry, was still too much damage or too much healing for Lemon to cut through.
The Monsoon comes out, keeps Trolldenuve alive for just barely enough, and the kill is picked up onto Chancellor Lemon. But in other news, there's
another fight coming in. Savage is down here, gets binded, and also trapped. Yep, and will be taken down, like we said earlier. If Savage were to come down, that was a possibility. Laser is taken out, and it doesn't matter because Shadow Jumper's still able to land the flash auto on it.
Yeah, I mean,
from the power, the empowered auto attack
shutdown. Power. Yeah, they do pick up that shutdown. But I mean, you'll take that if you're.
And Kitsune able to take down Neon Fire before Towel Dog's able to. There's a lot of things happening at once.
Definitely a lot of fighting going down, yeah.
And with Dragon up in another 2 minutes, it might continue like this for a little while.
Yeah. You know, bloody games are always fun, and this one is definitely one of the bloodier ones. But anyway, we're seeing around 4K gold lead here. On the side of Iceborn. Yeah, no towers, just in the kills. Ooh, I liked it. Ingenious with the flash auto, but Caitlyn
found anyway.
Yeah, Caitlyn Morgana just doesn't let him move. So while he does get that shutdown he does get the Ibeon Godly shutdown. He will, however, lose his life for it.
Just really aggressive. Towel Dog found up here by Kitsune.
Ooh, the fatally collateral damage from Towel Dog picks up the kill. And yeah, I mean, even though we're already seeing like this pretty big gold lead already, it's almost 5K now. And I think while this game this is quite a bit of a gold lead, I think it's still definitely. Like, we can't just count out Mortal Will here. You know, these are some of our best players from last season, so we'll have to see if they can pull, like, their ace up out of their sleeve, and perhaps it'll be around this next dragon.
Dragon is up in 20. Neon Fire has to back well before this, and it seems as though Mortal Will has the positioning that they want over it. No Towel Dog, no Neon Fire to really help out with this. Teleport not available from Neon Fire from either top laner right now.
Yeah, and now the thing is, Red Saturn does take a pretty awkward back at this point, and he does recall a bit sooner than he needs to, and so he isn't able to set down this trap line that makes Caitlyn so powerful at these objective fights. And so, Red Saturn will just shove this wave, but I think we're going to be seeing a fight around here, as the Rift Herald will be dropped. Unfortunately, won't be before plates dropped, so a bit of the valley there wasted.
Vine lands on to Shadow Jumper, but nothing comes out of it. Black Shield is blown from Towel Dog, but it seems as though the Yomas was popped as well. But they were able to get the bot tower, though. Still haven't even the tower. Oh, finally the dragon gets started, and they're making the decision to pull the trigger now.
I mean, they have great position there here, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yep, the ultimate also blown from Shadow Jumper, meaning that dragon is more than secured.
Yeah, indeed. You know, we people joke about zoning ultimate a lot, you know, but that was definitely one of the zoning ultimates, right?
Mm-hmm.
As, like, you know, you don't actually connect with that Chaos Storm, but the threat of all that damage that Chaos Storm can do, just make sure that Tal Dog doesn't go for the steal, even though he does have the way to get in and to get out. Ooh.
Golden News once again being taken down by the Cape Morgana combo, and it seems as though also Ingenious will as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing Red Saturn's gotten so far ahead, and yeah, I mean, 4 kills picked up right now, and Shadow Jumper immediately recalling to make sure that it isn't the clean ace here. But otherwise, we're seeing very dominant plays from Iceborn. As you said, this Mikhail's Crucible is picked up on the side of Trolldanube. This is definitely going to be nice. It'll definitely help stop those Morgana bindings, give some freedom to these people to Mortal Wool to play a bit safer around, to play a bit more aggressive around this trap line, but otherwise, yeah, it's almost a 10k gold lead here on the side of Iceborn, and already a lot of kills.
Top lane, almost a solo kill. Will it turn into one? Not quite. Shadow Jumper almost taking down Neon Fire in a solo 1v1, but on the bottom side of the map, it looks as though some more is happening. Black Shield being forced out, Bind's going out, but it doesn't look like anything's going to connect to cause anything to death. Unstoppable Force lands on to Towel Dog, and that's going to spell the end of him with no flash available, seeing as how there's no flash in his set spell spells at all.
And that's the 455 gold shutdown straight into Ingenious, who, even though he is pretty far behind, that's definitely going to help him step up his itemization.
And it looks like Neon Fire is getting caught out here. Flash Zephyr thrown on, but not enough move speed to keep her from jumping that wall, which means that Flash was pretty much wasted there. As they find Lemon on the backside of that, Bind landing on to Savage. Will it be able to result in a kill there? It will not. Dragon kick, Dragon's Rage, forcing Godly away.
Yeah, just punting the Morgana away, and that was and even though Chancellor Lemon does get a ton of damage down onto all of the members of Mortal Will, he is forced to blow the Flash. So not ideal, but some fighting going down, and yeah.
Kitsune almost taking the L.
Wow.
Oh, saved from the safeguard to take that.
Yeah, the Ace in the Hole is tanked, and now the curtain call will open.
Shots 3 and 4 not quite landing, but that's okay. It was enough to force them off of the tower.
And I mean, look at this damage that Caitlyn's doing, right? Whenever she does get that rapid fire proc, you're just losing all of your HP.
Towel Dog looking for these people here in mid lane and just trying to walk through the 1v3, going down to the Unstoppable Force, who is instantly traded back.
Yeah, I mean, the collateral damage does whiff, so that doesn't let him pick up the kill onto Shadow Jumper. However, Kitsune does fly in there and get the kill onto the Graves, who has yet to pick up that Edge of Night that he is building towards. So very little survivability, so that Malphite ultimate does blow him up quite a bit. And this is what you're talking about.
It's also worth noting that Malphite, that Kitsune doesn't have any MR for the Syndra, which is exactly why he exploded there, because he's got plenty of armor to deal with any and all of the champions that are AD champions that are present, but not a shred of MR. So when getting hit by the Morgana and the Syndra at the same time, you kind of just eat a lot of damage, and you just explode instantly, kind of like you just did.
Exactly, yeah. And we see the Medjai's picked up by Chancellor Lemon. You know, not the best gold value right now, but it's an investment, right? You know, it's all about about those deals in business. It's all about those deals in the business to get those stacks. Because
no, Chancellor Lemon's in a perfect spot to pop Troll the Noob. Misses actually, and he's probably gonna be taken down here for that mistake. Kitsune taken down by Towel Dog, as like I said, Lemon goes down.
Yeah, still no flash from
Sonic Wave lands. Safeguard, but the tornado from Janna going out. It doesn't even matter because Red Saturn able to tag an auto on her that deletes her health bar.
Yeah, and I mean, Mortal Will does try to disengage this. They do try to back away, but they are just, but they do lose Troll the Noob there. And the dragon will be secured. Ocean Soul will be the soul of this game, so one of the stronger ones, you know. Definitely gonna be a very powerful soul, and otherwise, yeah, I mean, look at this Fiora, right? She's just already at inhibitor turrets from just her split pushing, and
has since taken over with now a 60 CS lead over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't want to be like very pessimistic, but this game is very much, yeah, I mean, it's very much just Iceborn's game to lose, right? As long as they just keep on, like, as long as they just like stand there, you know, Caitlyn does her autos, they don't go for anything insanely crazy, like any crazy tower dives or something, any Baron throws, they're basically just going to be able to win this game for free. And honestly, I don't even feel like, I feel like even the Baron throw wouldn't even be able to get Mortal Will back into this game. Like, already it's a 12k, it's almost a 12k gold lead.
Careful with the Baron play. Baron plays are strong.
Well, yeah, but like, even if they do manage to get like a miracle like team fight, right? They will get that extra in gold, but that'll still be almost a 10. It'll still be like 10,000 gold difference, and
if you're hitting them down, because if you take a look, there's a huge shutdown on Red Saturn right now for 600 gold. But before we even get to that, Unstoppable Force comes down, and Lemon once again getting caught out. That Medjai is not looking too stacked right now. But
yeah.
Going back to it, it's like when talking about the Baron pit, which they're all at now. If they can come in here and do something about this, because there is a teleport available from Kitsune, but no ultimate available.
Well, I mean, yeah, that Medjai is certainly lacking a few pages, and otherwise, a great, just very good plays from Iceborn, right? They see that they commit very hard onto the kill on Chancellor Lemon, and they just immediately turn to the Baron and pick it up. But anyway, yeah, even though this Baron will be picked up, that will just solidify this pretty large gold lead on the side of Iceborn. I think it's quite the game we have on our hands here. While Iceborn is very far ahead, you know, you can always get a few throws here and there, and I think while I do think that this is, like I said, you know, Iceborn's game to lose, it might be possible for them to be caught with their pants down, and maybe we'll see Mortal Will find their way back into this game with these picks that they've been getting onto Chancellor Lemon. You know, even though they did get punished with losing that Baron, that was kind of always going to happen, right? They would have basically already lost that Baron anyway, so I feel like they do trade it. Oh,
Vine lands onto Kitsune, but it doesn't even matter because it's during the Unstoppable Force fight. Is raking out a huge Janna ultimate, and a nice Mikhail's ends up in the deaths of Red Saturn and Beyond Godly. But the fight is not over yet. Troll the Noob is looking to get away from Neon Fire and the rest of them, and is able to do so.
Yeah, I mean, Troll the Noob does manage to escape. Neon Fire is going to be out for blood, though, chasing him down. But even though they do, even though it is 2 kills, even though it's 3 deaths. Okay, yeah. Even though it's 2 kills in that fight and then 1 after, for the side of Iceborn, they do get that Caitlyn shutdown, which is very important. So even though Kitsune does pick up that Caitlyn shutdown, so that's a lot of gold that he'll be able to spend now.
Mm-hmm.
And Neon Fire just is very angry. He just wants to kill into Troll the Noob.
Troll the Noob is able to execute it, which is odd, seeing as how Troll the Noob had plenty of opportunity to really just walk away and get out of that.
I mean, I suppose that he does. I suppose that he doesn't have vision of Fiora, and he just assumes that it's safer to just get the execute than give over that gold to the Fiora, who's already such a threat.
Which is true, but it was like, if you were watching, like, they had been dancing around for some time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is fair. I suppose he just doesn't want to risk giving over it. Oh!
Saturn once again getting exploded, and so is Beyond Godly. It's like if the 2 of them are just caught out by the group, it's too much.
I mean, Red Saturn is very far ahead, but absolutely 0 defensive, absolutely 0 items that don't just give only damage, so he definitely will get destroyed.
And Lemon now once again on making use out of the Magi is getting a 400 gold shutdown for himself, or gaining it.
The Magi's, and now Neon Fire is knocking on these inhib.
Doing what Fiora does best, and that's split push.
Indeed. Now, 5 minutes to the next Ocean Drake, and now we are seeing Mortal Wool on Soul Point. And so, while this game is definitely we're definitely seeing a bit of a tough game for Mortal Wool to win. This is definitely possible. Like they can definitely win. They can definitely win this. Like we've been seeing, Red Saturn has been getting caught out. He has given over that huge shutdown, even though it did end up on Kitsune. Oh,
Kitsune able to use the Unstoppable Force to get out.
So yeah, just the trade of ultimates. From the trade of ultimates, they will both be up relatively soon. There is the shorter cooldown on the collateral damage, so it'll be available. And now we're seeing the push on the Nexus turrets as this Fiora is just gonna knock down these inhibs, start getting some damage onto them. And anyway, yeah, while this is definitely a tough game for Mortal Wool, they can definitely win this. You know, this is where you can look for. This is where you can maybe look for fight. You know, once Kitsune gets his ultimate up,
the first lands on the Towel Dog. Nothing comes out of it.
But yeah, if Kitsune can find a great Malphite ultimate, he can just burst down these pretty squishy members. You know, the Edge of Night has been popped on Towel Dog. But anyway,
20 seconds or another 10 seconds now before the Unstoppable Force comes back up, and then they can make plays. But the Monsoon comes out to keep Shadow Jumper alive, so now they won't have that.
Chancellor Lemon does get caught out. He does have the teleport, so he can just recall and immediately get back to putting pressure on Mortal Wool. So now it'll be the next inhib tower being taken down, and all 2 inhibitors taken down and 1 exposed. So now the Baron coming up in 8 seconds, and this just feels like Iceborn can get it almost for free. Here, all it takes is them to just walk up and pick it up, because I mean, even though there's no like super huge threat of a backdoor since both Nexus turrets are available, you always have to be worried about Fiora. You know, she destroys structures very quickly, so you know she can just TP in here and start putting some pressure on you, And what are you gonna do, right? Both teleports available, so if Neon Fire and Chancellor Lemon put their minds to it, they could just end the game. End the game if we do see Mortal Will overcommitting.
It's true. They're all positioned on the top side of the map around the red pit, so it's like they know that they want to do the Baron, but they want to grab a pick first before they do so. So while there's the pick that they were looking for, dropping Troll the Noob and Savage almost instantly, strictly from the Force of Will.
Yeah, I mean that's just
Force of Will of the week.
Yeah, the Scatter of the Week just destroys them. Again, like you mentioned, there's almost no magic resist on any of these guys. Oh, that's the shutdown though.
They did get the shutdown on Towel Dog, but is that enough to stop the push that's coming in right now? With no ultimates available.
The inhib does respawn, and that's 3 inhibitors down, so we're just gonna see them knocking on the next turrets.
And that's gonna do it. Just dropping down at the very end.
That's gonna be game. And that's just a commanding game from Mortal Will. Alright, I thought we were seeing some founding diving shenanigans, but no. Yeah, great plays all around. But Iceborn does pull ahead.
Definitely some fun plays that were definitely made here, and it's a lot of fun to just come out here and there is more to come. So
of course.
and not even just today. It's because there are definitely more games today, more great games tomorrow, and if we are to tune into XLNC Esports, we have even more great games going on there. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is the end for us, for today at least, but you can check out XLNC Esports. They've still got quite a few games for tonight. I know you're going to miss our amazing cast, but the guys over there are probably almost as good as us.
Yep, I just, as a reminder to everybody, I am your host, Brown Anonymous, with my boy.
Yeah, hello, me.
That's the part where you jump in.
Alright. Sorry.
And we will see you all in the next one. But remember, yes, XLNC, one more time, is where the rest of the games are being played. So you can head over there. The links is being posted in the Twitch chat. So
right now, there's a game going on.
200% MF is still going on, so that is definitely one that you want to still go catch while there's still time.
Alright, well, that's going to be us signing off.